Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, accompanied by Queen Taylor. Today we're going to be taking a look at why British cities make absolutely no sense at all ever. This came off the heels of the UK City Names Explained video that we did, and a lot of you guys wanted us to check out the Map Men. Said that it was more informative, more funny, just all sorts of things. And guys, let me tell you something. I'm okay with watching more learning videos, educational videos, because I have new glasses and my brain is 10% bigger. So I need to fill in the gaps and just get the space. We need to fill in the space in my big brain now. So
the head space has expanded and now there's more room.
Now I'm more inquisitive, you might say. That's a big word. Inquisitive.
Inquisitive. A big word for this late at night.
I know, but I concur. And digress. You guys, let's hop on over the video and let's learn a little bit. You know what I mean?
But not too much because it's late.
But not too much. It is balls laid out.
How would you define a city?
It's what you do on a cherry.
How would you define a city?
Place the greatest size population.
That was funny. That was ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't expect it to happen. It was like, oh, this is really corny. And then the guy said popped it.
I didn't understand what his joke was.
What's a cherry?
Yeah. It's what you do on a cherry.
It's what you do on a cherry. What is that? What?
He just ended an I to chair, a city. You sit on a chair. You city on a cherry.
That's dumb.
Yeah. I thought it was a British thing.
I thought it was too. I was like, guys, what's a cherry? They're gonna be like,
I was literally gonna be like, tell us what that is.
It's a chair with a Y at the end of it.
That's funny.
Look at this. Learning so much.
Wow.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. Would you consider that a slang?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
It's not Cockney slang, but
No.
Cherry.
How would you define a city?
I don't know why that tickles me so much. I'm going to cut just the first 10 seconds of the video and rewatch it a billion times.
A billion times.
Inhabited place of greater size, population, or importance than a town or village.
That's better, but wrong.
Welcome to Welcome to Map Men.
We're the men.
And here's the map.
Map men, map men, map men.
Mark and Jay.
In the majority of the world where it's not Britain, the definition of city is reasonably reasonable.
In Japan, a
Reasonably
city is any
reasonable.
settlement with more than 50,000 people. In the USA, a city is anywhere with its own incorporated government.
But Britain, as per usual, has its own special way of doing things.
Here is a map of all 76 places in the UK that are officially classed as cities. The usual ones you heard of are there: Liverpool,
Derby.
Manchester, Bradford, Leeds, and so on.
But among them are some surprising and seemingly unworthy cities. Ely with just 20,000
Unworthy.
people, Ripon with just 16,000 people, and St David's with less than 1,500 people.
Wow.
Brilliant.
barely enough for a flash mob. But we've got cities with like less than 10,000 people in it.
Maybe. It's possible.
What do you mean maybe? You came from one.
No, that was a town.
What's the difference between a town and a city?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
What's the difference? Can we look that up?
Yeah.
All right, hold on, you guys.
So I guess it's just whatever kind of certain rules they make. I've never seen a city. I mean, granted, there's a lot of cities out there that I don't know about, but I've never been to a city that had less than like 50,000 people. What's it say?
There's nothing.
There is.
So it says definition. A city is a large urban area with a greater geographical area, higher population and population density, and is more developed than a town. Get this. The town is an urban area with a larger area than a village, but smaller than a city. Like, that tells me literally nothing.
There are villages.
Is it an incorporated town? Does
Yeah.
it have its own laws? Because towns can have mayors.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I
can.
just answered it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to get at. Is I think they have their own like. I just didn't know how to
Local
word
governments?
it. Yeah, I wanted to say government, but I didn't feel right.
I wonder, is there any space left in America that isn't like not a town, not a like? Is there any villages here? Like, is there any? Like,
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
where it's not touched by something.
Well,
Like a
I
sovereign-
don't think it would be a village if it wasn't touched by something. If it was just like grass and land and trees, it would just be
A
like
desert.
yeah, acreage or whatever. I mean, whatever it is, depending. But I think to be a village, you'd have to have at least a house, maybe a post office.
Maybe a post office.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. How do you guys? What classifies a village in your town?
Your town or city.
Okay.
Enough for a flash mob.
And
Barely enough for a
oppositely,
flash
there
mob.
are some very notable places that are mysteriously not on this map. Where's Reading? Or Northampton? Or Bournemouth?
The most surprising omission from this list is none other than London. Britain's capital
London.
city is technically not a city.
Although, confusingly, Greater London contains within it the City of Westminster and the tiny, confusingly named City of London, which is not the same as London.
What?
Okay.
Hold on.
London
Let
contains
me
within
get
it
these
the
little
City
guys
of
up.
Westminster and the tiny, confusingly named City of London, which is not the same
Not
as
the same.
London.
Okay, not the same as London.
So,
So Greater London is not a city. So that's probably what we would consider like Melbourne and West Melbourne. So Greater London is just like a surrounding area of it,
yeah.
maybe, but not a city.
A
A city of London is a city, but it's not London. So why is there a city of London inside London? That's confusing as shit.
I have no idea. Maybe you guys just call it London. Like, like I was going to say something about Nashville, Tennessee.
What about it?
It's just Nashville.
Okay. That was a cool story.
It didn't register in my brain when I was trying to think of.
Okay. So City of Westminster is a city. So
Yes.
what does that have to do with anything? Why is that one in there?
They're
Just because it's small?
No, they're putting that in there as like, hey, this is a city to compare the other two against. I don't.
Okay.
Because this is the city of Westminster.
Yeah. That's the city of London. That's a city, but not London.
Greater London. But like, is all this not in all the screen? Is that London? I don't know.
I guess.
Should I back it up?
Yeah, back it up.
Back it up. Let's listen. Let's listen one more time. Yeah, I like this. I like this. London Post Box. Big Ben. London Bus. London Taxi.
Beefeater.
Royal Horse. The Wheel. Yep.
Britain's capital city is technically not a city.
Although, confusingly, Greater London contains within it the City of Westminster and the tiny, confusingly named City of London, which is not the same as London.
So what's going on?
Yeah,
Is that
what
If
territory?
cityness is clearly nothing to do with size, then what is the criteria? What makes a British city a city?
I think I know this one.
I think you don't.
It's something to do with cheese.
Let's deal with some common misconceptions. Cathedral. Contrary to popular wrongness, city-states in the UK have nothing to do with having a cathedral.
There are
I love
12
that.
cities without a cathedral of any kind.
And
The
32
reverb.
non-cities with a cathedral of any kind.
Yay.
Yeah.
University. Another common
Oh, look at
assumption is
them.
that you can't spell university without city. But
What? Wow.
The babies.
The baby.
Oh, and he's drinking a Grolsch.
a Grolsch.
Yeah, Grolsch that's the beer that I used to drink that has that cool pop tab in the glass bottles.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, never had it.
Tasty.
university. Another common assumption is that you can't spell university without city. But just as with cathedrals, there are multiple examples proving that this is not the case, including 17 UK cities that do not have universities. Can you name 3?
Hard Knocks Cooper Jones.
Ripon, Wakefield and St Asaph.
Correct, and for a bonus, can you also name 3 non-cities that do have universities?
Northampton, Reading and Ipswich.
And that's our bonus word of the day.
Ipswich.
There's
And
an
it's where
Ipswich
you'll
in
be spending
Michigan.
an all-expenses paid weekend trip to Ipswich with your mother. Brought to you by the town of Ipswich.
In an admittedly nowhere near as common as the other two, but we're going to deal with it anyway, misconception, just because you're at mayor doesn't mean the thing you're at mayor of is a city.
Two examples. Ramji Chauhan is the old-timey ceremonial red robe and gold chain Lord Mayor of Harrow, which is a dull suburban borough, not a city. And Oliver Coppard is the democratically elected Metro Mayor of South Yorkshire, a massive political region comprising mostly countryside, which is even more not a city.
The term mayor in Britain is almost as confusing, useless and vague as city itself.
So then, what is the answer?
It's confusing,
Person in charge of a city or town or borough or region, and not necessarily actually in charge. Sometimes it's actual power, sometimes just ceremonial, sometimes elected, sometimes not elected. What on God's green earth?
So look at medley. Thing that kids do to stop janitors or fairground owners getting away with it.
Metal.
Metal?
Yeah. Like, don't you meddle?
Oh, metal. Thing you get if you're a really brave dog.
If you're a really brave dog.
Mashed potatoes, boil for 20 minutes, add milk, add butter, mustard, black pepper, and nutmeg.
Nutmeg. Mustard.
This is parody. This is nonsense. And they knew we would pause to read this, so they filled it up with more nonsense.
I like it. This
I
is
like it
entertaining. It's fun. It's going fast, though, so it's a lot to take in.
This is the attention to detail that I really like. I know it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and I feel like we've been here for 10 minutes.
useless and vague as city itself.
So then, what is the answer? What decides whether a place makes the official British list of cities?
The surprisingly simple answer is the king. In a tradition going back to the 10th century, city status in Britain is granted by personal command of the sovereign and conferred by letters patent.
Do you know what that means?
I do. Not.
The long version is this, and the short version is every city on the official list has been put there by the monarch. It's as simple as that. On the list, city. Not on the list, not a city.
So why then do so many people think it's about cathedrals?
Because it used to be. In the olden days, all settlements by today's standards were rather small. With Britain's population being overwhelmingly rural, cities weren't considered important if they were big, but if they were powerful.
Back then, power came from the church. Big cathedrals such as Wells, Ely and St Albans, which oversaw large chunks of the surrounding countryside, made the settlements they were in important settlements.
And so, the then monarch awarded these places city status, which they retain to this day.
But what about all those cities with city status that don't have cathedrals? When did the monarch start awarding city status to them, and why?
In the 19th century, and because... The arrival of the Industrial Revolution caused some towns to turn into manufacturing powerhouses and go through smoky growth spurts.
By the 1850s, the little town of Birmingham was now bursting with factory workers and had outgrown the nearby cities of Lichfield and Leicester. The citizens insisted that the synod slanted system that saw sensible cities for several consecutive centuries suddenly seemed silly.
Well done.
Wow, that was really impressive.
Well done.
Well done.
I actually like that the sibilance in his voice did not kill my ears,
Yeah.
which I thought it would have been. And I feel as though if I were to say the exact same thing, I would stab you all in the head.
Yeah, for sure.
Brilliant.
Can you?
You want to back it up. You want to listen to that shit again.
Yeah.
Listen to all the S sounds. It's like she sells shells at the seashore.
Really good effort.
Fuck it.
The Industrial Revolution caused some towns to turn into manufacturing powerhouses and go through smoky growth spurts.
By the 1850s, the little town of Birmingham was now bursting with factory workers and had outgrown the nearby cities of Lichfield and Leicester. The citizens insisted that the synod slanted system that saw sensible cities for several consecutive centuries suddenly seemed silly.
Well done.
And demanded that their town be given the city status it deserved.
So,
You know what that reminded me of? The way he said "well done," the way he did. Letterkenny.
Letterkenny. You think these guys watch Letterkenny?
No, the way he said "well done" reminded me of it.
I feel like these two would fit perfectly in Letterkenny. Just throw them into an episode. They'd be great.
Yeah, they just got to slow their talking down a lot.
Well, yeah.
But otherwise, yes. Also, let me know if any of you have watched Letterkenny. I don't know if it's available over there or not, but it's pretty spectacular. I'm just going to back it up.
It's a good show.
Yes.
well done.
And demanded that their town be given the city status it deserved.
So, the Prime Minister, Lord Salisbury, decided the time had come to change the cathedral rules.
Oh, excellent. That's really good.
Cathedrals.
Thank you.
And reinvented the meaning of city.
Incidentally, that's the same Lord Salisbury who, at the same time, reinvented the meaning of the word county.
In 1889, Birmingham's size and industrial importance was officially acknowledged when it became the first place without an Anglican cathedral to gain city status.
Confusingly, Birmingham's church turned into a cathedral later in 1905, but for an explanation of how that works, ask a priest.
Father, what's the difference between a church and a cathedral?
Something to do with bishops? Birmingham was quickly followed by cathedral-free Sheffield, Bradford, Hull, Nottingham, and a slow trickle of other godless heathen towns that had recently become large, joining throughout the 20th century.
Leeds.
The list was gradually starting to make more and more sense.
Until 1994,
Swansea.
when a completely good run of sensible cityings was ruined by the tiny Welsh village of St David's for no good reason.
Apparently, the Queen just liked it. The thing that makes this otherwise logical list illogical is these pesky small cities that ruin it for the proper big ones. So, can a place lose its city status if it doesn't deserve it anymore?
I like that. Did you see that?
Yeah, David, how they put David's in there.
And what was this, St. Albans or whatever?
Yeah,
Albans?
something like that, yeah.
Welcome back to Stranded with Songs. Now, before the break, my guest Jimothy Twig's 5 song choices to be stranded on a desert island with were the Ketchup song by Las Ketchup 4 times and the Ketchup song Christmas remix.
I regret nothing.
Now, as you know, as well as the 5 songs, you also get to take with you one luxury item to the island. What luxury item will you...
I will take Surfshark VPN.
Literally any luxury item you can think of.
I will take Surfshark VPN.
Why do you want to take Surfshark VPN?
Because it's marvellous. Surfshark VPN allows you to virtually change your location, so your browser thinks you're in
Wow.
another country. And that means you can access content and discounts that are normally blocked in your country, so you can watch shows and movies on American Netflix that aren't available on UK Netflix.
There's no internet on the desert island.
Not only that, Surfshark masks your IP address and keeps you safe online from trackers and hackers, and you can use just one account on an unlimited number of devices.
You won't have your phone or laptop.
And it's affordable too. MapMen viewers can get a special deal by using the code MapMen, or
You
by
won't
clicking
have your
the link
phone or
in the
laptop. That was
description below
Aid
to get
Edmonton.
an extra 3 months
No.
What?
for free.
You're allowed to take your wife.
And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, which effectively makes it a free trial.
Jimothy Twig, you've been a weird guest. Right, take him away.
Where am I going?
Desert Island.
But I thought the island on Desert Island Discs was only a hypothetical island.
Well, this isn't Desert Island Discs.
Hey, get off me! Oh, I said it!
Surfshark VPN. Literally all you need to survive.
I love that. That was a good ad.
In 1998, Little Rochester in Kent, which had been a city since 1211, merged its local council with its neighbours to form the modern unitary authority of Medway.
What they didn't realise was doing this effectively removed Rochester from the official list of British cities.
The new Council of Medway
Really?
could have retained city status simply by filling in a bit of paperwork, but they forgot, making poor Rochester the only place in the UK ever to lose its city status.
Yes,
Wow.
we've seen Tom
The
Scott's video
Rochesterians
about
didn't
this.
have to wait very long for a chance to put things right. The year 2000 was the roundest date in the calendar in living memory, even for trees. The government celebrated this milestone with a big blancmange, a bicycle wheel, and the announcement of a bidding round for city status.
3 new cities were to join the list, and for the first time ever, any town with ambitions to become a city could apply to be one, and size did not matter.
Wow.
The criteria they were looking for were notable features, historic features, royal features, and a forward-looking attitude.
And so, lots of towns submitted bids, each having to provide a 25-page pamphlet and lots of photos explaining why they were worthy.
The hot favourite to win was Reading, the largest town in England with a fast-growing tech sector. It boldly ticked all these boxes.
And the winners of Millennium City Status 2000 are Inverness, Brighton and Hove, and Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton.
The national bidding for city status frenzy was so much fun, the government decided to make it a semi-regular thing every time the Queen had a party.
Newport, Newry, Preston, Stirling, and Lisbon.
Lisbon.
Lisburn.
Oh, Lisburn.
Chelmsford, Perth, and St Asaph.
St Asaph?
Wales ran out of big towns.
Bangor, Colchester, Doncaster, Dunfermline, Milton Keynes, Wrexham, and Southend.
And that
I love
brings
that
us
she's
to
getting
today's
older.
grand total of 76 cities, 8 in
Southend-on-Sea. I think that's like such a lovely name for a city. Stoke-on-Trent. They're just giving these out.
Where
They're
do you
just-
see the south? Oh, I see it down the very bottom.
Yeah, it's down here under here by City of London.
Yeah.
So does it matter then if you're a city or not? Like, do you guys do they get like government assistance, like federal? So we have federal funding. Do you guys do that? Like, I don't know. Where do they get that info?
I don't know.
Like, if you're not a city, like, what does it matter?
Bro, I mean, I don't know. I thought it does matter. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Maybe it doesn't. Can I make a city?
How are you going to make one?
Well, if all it takes is for the king the king to like it, we can, establish some land, get it going, and then I can host King Charles and just have fun. And then he'll be like, you know what, Steve, I really like you.
I don't think that's how that's going to happen.
I can persuade him.
Okay.
I can persuade him.
Scotland, 7 in Wales, 6 in Northern Ireland, and 55 in England.
The question we need to ask,
55.
Other than why did the Queen hate Reading so much?
is why bother bidding? Submitting a bid is an expensive business, with tens of thousands of pounds being spent on printer ink alone. So what are the advantages of being a city instead of a town?
Here we go.
Extra government funding?
Nope.
Extra local powers?
Nope.
Extra promotion for tourism?
Who was that?
Oh,
Sorry, typo. The clue is in the name, city status. That's a very good word for it because that's literally all it is.
And that's why every town that bids has a different justification for why their bid was bother-worthy. Preston said gaining city status in 2002 put them on the map, even though our research has shown that Preston was already on most maps.
Perth claims that in the decade since becoming a city in 2012, its economy grew 12%, which would be impressive if it weren't for nearby Dundee also growing by about 12%.
Towns
God.
don't even need to win to benefit from bidding. The parish council of Marazion in Cornwall submitted a no-hoper underdog bid without their bosses in Cornwall ever knowing about it. They were quickly disqualified, but not before the subsequent publicity resulted in a mini boost in tourism.
The people who
that's
seem to
cool.
get the most tangible benefit from the bidding process are the government themselves. Awarding city status to an unsung town is a way to appear to show support for it and get some positive PR without having to commit any time or money.
But is this okay? Is it right that the government of the day gets to mess with the dictionary definition of a geographical word? Is it perhaps time we dropped this nonsense of a system and replaced it with something more meaningful?
Nah. The government has 8,007 more important things to worry about than what the meaning of city is.
Prevent
Once those have
acid
been
rain.
sorted, yeah.
make dogs wear clothes.
Ban the number 71. Abolish the honor system.
Introduce a 4-day work week. That sounds amazing.
You guys don't already have the 4-day work week.
Make Google pay their taxes. Google are our employers. Sorry, Google. Put a human on Pluto just for misery.
Yes, we might look at redefining the definition.
Invade Canada. Apologize to Canada. Bring back the word scram.
Bring back humans from Pluto, Mars, and the sun.
Make boo sticks an Olympic sport. I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to give Mapmen a trophy.
Make old people retake driving tests. We talked about that.
I actually agree. Yeah. I think that should just be keep Britain tidy. Banned bottled water. Spin around.
really, really, really fast.
We're gonna have to rewatch this.
I know. I'm gonna watch and pause. Watch and pause.
Time we dropped this nonsense of a system and replaced it with something more meaningful.
Nah. The government has 8,007 more important things to worry about than what the meaning of city is. Once those have been sorted, yes, we might look at redefining the definition, and even then, we probably shouldn't.
After all, a vague, archaic, mostly harmless tradition fraught with pomp and ceremony and mawkish self-aggrandizing with a bit of royalty thrown in is about the most British thing imaginable, and would never happen in a boring, sensible country like Germany.
Regular rounds of royal city statusing look set to be with us for many jubilees to come.
So, if you want your town to become a city, just sit tight and wait, and rest assured that at this rate, every corner of the country will become a city by the year 3000.
And the winner is Newport Factory Services on the M1.
Except
beep.
Reading.
Alrighty.
Oh, love them.
Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe. I'll subscribe. I'll subscribble. What did you think of Mapmen?
Yeah, I actually really, really, really enjoyed that.
Jay
That was
Foreman.
a lot funnier or a lot better than the one we did of UK city names explained. No offense to the guy that did that one, but this was informative while being lighthearted and funny. And it's easier to pay attention and retain information when it's like that because it's not boring. It was very fast. It was a lot because it's a lot of places that we don't know anything about. But obviously we weren't going to watch this one time and memorize all this anyway. But really funny. Yeah. I like the way that they provide their information.
I really appreciate the amount of detail that they put into their videos. Because the script. They were like, all right, end this sentence with saying nothing but the S word. Like, make a sentence with just S's. That was brilliant. The attention to detail where like they anticipate people pausing to read their nonsense. And even at the end, like the 8,000 things that they've got to worry about. I thought that was super enjoyable, man.
Yeah.
It was just a good video.
I know we have more Map Men videos on our playlist, and now I'm super excited about those because this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely helped wake me up a bit.
This is exceptional. I actually really enjoy those two.
Yeah, I agree.
I enjoy their comedy because it's kind of like a mix of deadpan, but also great video. Leave down in the comments what you think. I think it's ridiculous that city status is based off of just the king's whim.
Yeah, it's
king or queen's whim.
Pretty funny. Ooh.
Well, I guess it's been the queen for past century at this point. But
Thanks.
anyways, you guys.
Yeah, all their attention to detail on those things too. How they made the queen age after
so
2000. It was in the 2000 whatever. And then, yeah.
And in the
Just
year
all their little
3000, it's a
things.
robot.
Yeah, superb. Super. Absolutely splendid.
Super. All right, you guys, that's our time. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Make sure you guys check out Jay Foreman, subscribe to their channel, give them a like, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.